view of the Genk circuit. You can see the cars going by on the highway in the background there. When the carts actually overtake the cars coming out of that back straight, it's always quite a good thing. I think you can just see it there. See a car going down the road there, and it looks as if Barry Pullinger just shot past it. So that was pretty cool, wasn't it? You witnessed exactly what I was about to tell you, basically. So I'm glad we picked it up at that exact point. But DD2 has been all about Ioannis so far this weekend. But now the Greek driver, he's not from Belgium, he's from Greece. The Greek driver has got some work to do in this one. Barry Pullinger has just been unlucky at times off the start, and he is the reigning champion. And at times, for him, that's been a bit of a burden to carry, because it's left him under a lot of pressure at times and having to deal with people making moves left, right, and centre. So now he's on pole. If he gets away, I'd be interested to see if he can make this 2 wins, which would be a good turnaround, because yesterday was a difficult day for him. He did walk away third with a second and a fourth, but on reflection, I think it was a bit of a difficult day overall. It wasn't quite that straightforward. In terms of Masters, race 1 was won by Hatzi Stefanos with Adams second, Jermaine third, Leanan, Ostrovsky and Mattis. So a very close fight for the podium there. Hatzi Stefanos taking a win for the first time away from Christoph Adams. So those two looking to get on the podium. Tamsin Jermaine was fourth coming into today, but only needed about a point to get on the podium. So let's see if she's able to do that. But the grid one more time then. It is Barry Pullinger and Xander Zibelak row 1, Gilles Brillings and William van der Kaars row 2, Marcel Steinart and Antoniadis Ioannis row 3, Chris Sturkin and Euripid Hatzi Stefanos row 4, Christoph Adams and Dionysis Leveris row 5, MK Arts and Tamsin Jermaine row 6, Konstantin Scholl and Christoph Leanan row 7, Dmitry Ostrovsky and Andreas Mattis are row 8. Okay, here we go for the start. Pullinger to the left then, Zibelak to the right. Let's hope we get away nice and safely. We don't want any penalties off the start, but it's a full start. So they will be sent round one more time. So a full start then. Carts are going to be sent round again. Drivers are going to have to do one more formation lap before we get going. So we are just being held here. Now, after this, that was, of course, we've completed Senior Max. This is the penultimate race of the day. One more race to go after this, which is KZ. That will be at 35 minutes past 4. So directly after this, KZ, and then that will be the action for today finished here at the circuit. We do have the podium ceremony as well, about half an hour. So after the last race, so about 15 minutes past 5 or so, as long as there's no delays up in race control. But there is Barry Pullinger in the 601, won the championship last year. Xander Zibelak up from Senior Max alongside him. Gilles Brillings had a good season last year. He's on row 2 with William van der Kaars, who's raced well this weekend. Then it's Marcel Steinart, the driver unbeaten so far this weekend, in the red suit there and black crash helmet. Antoniadis Ioannis, and then it is Chris Sturkin and Euripid Hatzi Stefanos, Christoph Adams and Dionysis Leveris. And then we have MK Arts, Tamsin Jermaine, Konstantin Scholl out of position, in my opinion, down there with Christoph Leanan on row 7, Dmitry Ostrovsky and Andreas Mattis. Hopefully we get away this time. Second time of asking. Take 2 for DD2 race 4, and that's a much better start. We're off away in racing, and Barry Pullinger, a good start for him. Gilles Brillings going with him then as they head in towards turn number 1. Through the first couple of corners they go. Third place there is Xander Zibelak. Fourth place is William van der Kaars, and fifth place is Ioannis as they head on to the back straight. Barry Pullinger, as I've been saying, has been passed any time he's left the door open this weekend, so I'm not going to be surprised if he goes heavily defensive for a couple of laps here. As Xander Zibelak now going up the inside of Gilles Brillings. That's a change for second place. Xander Zibelak, and also going with him is van der Kaars. Well, van der Kaars going into third place, and Ioannis goes into fourth place. So Ioannis into fourth place, Good driving there from the Greek driver. That's why he's won 3 races this weekend. And he now goes into third at the last corner. Well, Ioannis into third at the last corner. And out front, Barry Pullinger's going to have to defend as Xander Zibilak trying to go down the inside in towards turn number 1. He can't quite get through. So Xander Zibilak is going to have to sit in second place for now. Through turn number 2, they go. Ioannis in third place there. Down towards the hairpin, and Barry Pullinger onto the back straight is under severe pressure here from Xander Zibilak, and he's just pulling over to just take an ever so slightly defensive line. I think that was Steinert there making a move on Hatzi Stefanos. Oh, and Xander Zibilak up the inside there takes the lead away from Barry Pullinger. Ioannis is now getting a lot closer in third place. Pullinger, this is not what he wanted, nor Xander Zibilak really. They did not want Ioannis to be this close so early on. So we've got a race on our hands here for the lead as Barry Pullinger back down the inside takes the lead back once again. Zibilak's going to get the switch back on the exit of the corner. So Zibilak back into the lead, and here comes Ioannis down the inside. He's going to go into the lead. Ioannis into the lead, then Barry Pullinger into second place. Third place is Zibilak. Fourth place is Van der Kaaj. Then it is Sturkin in fifth place. Steinert, sorry, in fifth place. Wheelings in sixth. Sturkin in sixth place. Then it is Hatzi Stefanos, Liverdis and Adams as they make their way down the back straight, down the inside there. Into third place goes William Van der Kaaj. So a good move that. A nice clean move from Van der Kaaj. As, Xander Zibilak fighting back into the left-hand hairpin. So Zibilak fighting back up ahead. Barry Pullinger is closing in here on Ioannis. He's keeping him honest. So this is what we wanted to see. Ioannis under some sort of pressure. We want to see how he responds to that. Getting to the front, he's taking advantage of drivers making moves around him. So he's placed himself perfectly so far in this race, Ioannis. Let's see what he can do now he's in the race lead. Can he defend from Barry Pullinger if he has to? Let's see. Likewise, Barry Pullinger, how much does he want this victory and how much is he prepared to fight for it? At the moment, it's 2-1 in terms of victories between the two drivers out front. 2 for Ioannis out front, 1 for Pullinger in second place. So Ioannis, of course, earlier on was leading the race and then lost the race when he hit problems, but he did pick up that penalty as well, as we mentioned. So picked up a 3-second penalty for a wrong start procedure. But one thing I have been mentioning, pretty much been unbeaten in terms of laps. You know, he's not led any laps. He's cleared off both races yesterday, and he cleared off in the race earlier as well. But now he's under some sort of pressure, Ioannis. Let's see what he can do. Barry Pullinger then closing in, keeping him honest. Zibilak is there as well. Van der Kaaj has been very impressive this weekend. He's got closer and closer to the leaders in terms of pace, and he is right with them then as they head through the chicane. Wheelings in 5th place there. 6th place is Steinert. Then it is Sturkin, is it? Yes, Sturkin is 6th place. Steinert is down to 7th as they turn their way out of the last corner. Across the start-finish line. 11 laps remaining. Ioannis doing a good job here. He's got a gap of 3.5 tenths at the moment over Barry Pullinger. Xander Zibilak likewise is 3 tenths behind Pullinger, so top 3, roughly 7 tenths between them. Then there's a gap of about 8 tenths per second, then back to 4th place. But Pullinger seems to just be closing it down on this lap, doesn't he? As they head down to the right-hander. In towards the left they go. And Ioannis there into the last corner, leading the way here from Barry Pullinger and Xander Zibilak down the start-finish straight. And Xander Zibilak quickest on track now. New fastest lap that time, driver in 3rd place. He's just done a 54.977. They turn into the left-hander, into the right. Xander Zibilak, is he going to make a move? He probably would have seen the lap time he's just set and thought that is a very quick time, a 54.977, a quick time here. So Xander Zibilak, I think, will be preparing himself for a move here as they go through the right, now into the left hand. William van der Karsch still fourth. The fifth place is Sturken. So, no, fifth place, sorry, is Puelings, isn't it? Sturken next along. Then it's Steinhardt, De Veris. Scholl has moved up to ninth place. Then it's Hatsi Stefanos. As Barry Pullinger, a slight mistake, I think, out the last corner there. And is this the chance for Xander Zibilak to go through into second? It isn't. Not yet, anyway, but I'm not too sure Xander Zibilak is far off here. I think he's going to make this move very shortly. Goes into the hairpin, and there he goes. Xander Zibilak into second place. Pullinger is going to work with him here. Yes, so these two, I think they've had enough of Ioannis leading races this weekend. Let's get after him. They both picked up the pieces when Ioannis had hit problems in the earlier race, with Zibilak finishing second, Pullinger taking the win. But this is their chance now to go after Ioannis and really take the fight to him in the final race of the weekend. It's important for the championship, really, for them to do this. I think heading into Oosterhout, then Ioannis will know that he can be beaten this season as they head through the first corner. Gilles Puelings, fourth. Van der Karsch, fifth. Sixth place then is Sturken, Steinhardt, Scholl, De Veris, and Hatsi Stefanos. Looks as if Hatsi Stefanos is the first of the Masters, with Mattis second and Christoph Adams third. I'm not too sure what happened to Tamsin Germain, but she didn't complete a lap, so problems before the start of the race for Tamsin, unfortunately. That's a real shame, because she was fighting for a podium in the Masters class. We're on lap number 9 now, and Ioannis once again just making it very difficult now to for Zibilak and Pullinger to close in. When he does this, Ioannis, notice this weekend, when a leader does something like this, you kind of say to the other guys, you're not going to catch me, you might as well just fight between each other. And then when the likes of Zibilak and Pullinger start fighting each other, then that's when Ioannis really pulls away. But this, you've got to put yourself in Barry Pullinger's shoes now. If Ioannis is getting away, the further the laps tick by, eventually he's going to say, well, that's enough. Now I'm just going to have to go for second place, and you kind of write off any chance you had of taking a race win. So that is something that Ioannis has been very good at doing this weekend. He's kind of not given them any other option as they head out of the last corner and down the start-finish straight in towards turn number 1. In the background there, Puelings and Van der Karsch, 4th and 5th. A good little battle going on between those two, actually. It's very close there. Then it's Sturken, bit of a lonely 6th place. Steinhardt 7th, Scholl 8th, but Scholl under some pressure here from Leveris. Hatsi Stefanos 10th, and then it is close actually between Andres Mattis and Christoph Adams. And then behind that, MK Arts also involved in that battle, so that's a 3-way scrap for 11th. Then it's Lehnen and Ostrovsky. That's our race leader. And is it me or is Xander Zibilak on an absolute flyer this lap? Let's have a look as they go across the line. The gap was 6.5 tenths. It's come down to half a second. So a late charge now for Xander Zibilak there in second place. I think now closing in here is Ioannis running out of steam at last, or is this Xander Zibilak just finding something from somewhere? Is this the determination of a race win this weekend coming through? Because Ioannis has got 2, Pullinger has got 1. Zibilak would be the only one to stand on the podium at the end of the weekend without a race win, but he can change that now. He's got himself a genuine chance here. He's on lap 12 of 16, so he's got a chance, half a second. That's not an impossible task at all. Xander Zibilak there is catching Ionis with every single sector now. The gap, that is less than half a second, surely, as Pullinger is starting to just drop away ever so slightly. Let's get the lap times in. It is under half a second now. 54.769 for Ionis, 54.749 for Zibilak. I was wrong about Pullinger. He's done a 54.797, which is his new personal best. So very close between the top three. Nothing to choose between them. All we need is Zibilak to make a move, and then Pullinger will be there as well. So we'll have a three-way fight. But I think of all three, Zibilak is the one that wants this win the most. He hasn't had one this weekend. Now he's getting closer to potentially taking one. Here they go, down towards the right-hander. Zibilak, is he going to be able to at least have a challenge? I think if he can at least have a go at it, he'll be satisfied. He's getting to that point now. Ionis will look over his shoulder shortly, I'm sure, and see Zibilak getting a lot closer. They go across the line, and the gap's come down once again. It's now 3/10. A new fastest lap from Xander Zibilak, 54.6 for Xander Zibilak. Ionis does a 54.844, and then a 54.669, sorry, for Pullinger. So he does a 54.699. Okay, we just need to make... So just a message coming in from race control there. The steward's just delivering a message, so apologies for that. But Ionis being caught here. He's now got Zibilak getting closer and closer, and we may see Zibilak mount a challenge going on to the final lap. Here we go, one to go as they go across the line, and Ionis there being caught here by Zibilak as they go in towards the first corner. Just behind then we have Barry Pullinger, then it's Gilles Willings into the pits. Unfortunately is the 660 of Ostrovsky. Lehnen, haven't seen him come across the line. In fact, he has. So Ostrovsky retiring from the race, but Ionis at the moment almost home and dry. Zibilak getting closer with every corner, but I don't think Zibilak is going to be close enough to make a move here. They head through the left-hand hairpin. I think he's too far back to go for a move into the last corner. So it looks as if it is going to be 3 wins out of 4 for Ionis. He probably could have won the second race, the first race today, had he not picked up that penalty and damage. But the win, the third race win of his weekend, Ionis takes 3 out of 4 as he comes across the line. Ionis wins the first round. He's going to leave Genk the championship leader. 3 wins in the bag already this season. A fantastic weekend from the Greek driver. Came into this weekend perhaps a bit of an unknown to some people, but Ionis will be a name familiar to everyone around the paddock now in the DD2 class. So congratulations to him. He is a deserved winner this weekend. Second place is going to go to Xander Zibilak. Third to Barry Pullinger. They are going to be on the podium later today. We'll just confirm it. We have to confirm in what order though. Fourth place, Gilles Willings. Fifth place, Van der Kaj in this one. Sturkin takes 6th. Steinhardt 7th. Scholl 8th. Hatzi Stefanos takes the win in the mark.